love. Welcome home to Eden. So I want to share with you my prophecy from, wow, probably 25 years ago. I had a dream. This is Eve Christoph. This is Eve's Eden Divine Feminine channel. Tune in on YouTube. Lots of inspiration for you here. So I'm going to share with you this dream I had 25 years ago. I dreamed that the planet's oceans were rising by 5 feet, and it was actually making people head for the hills. They had to find places to live that were above water, and as they were going, they had to take with them what was most important to them. And in the dream, what was most important that each person needed was a backpack full of seeds to plant, seeds to sprout, seeds to, rice, beans, lentils, that kind of thing you can add water to and they'll go and go and go, right? Backpacks full of seeds. And in the dream, this other dimension was happening where the axis, somehow the polarity of the planet was shifting, was reversing. And as that happened, everything turned blue in a big flash suddenly. And in that flash, the waters of the planet started to move in new directions. But the amazing thing, darling, was that the waters inside people's brains started to move into new hemispheres, new realms that they had never entered in people's brains before, because all of the polarity of the planet was moving the fluids, even within people's bodies, in a new direction. And so this feeling of bliss, the thing of like psychedelics that bring you to this other level of bliss, started to be the normal way of seeing and being in consciousness. The brains of humans activated into a heart realm of psychedelic perceiving. And so now we see all these things online about the polarity reversing and water's rising 5 feet, and I want you to think about seeds, okay? That's the one thing you really need to get together, okay? Don't go buying a gun with that money. You need to buy rice and beans and quinoa and all the different kinds of beans and lentils and seeds that you can sprout, and those are going to tide you over for many months. And don't just think of yourself, plan that you will be like Shakespeare. Do you know that Shakespeare was not just a playwright? He had a granary, and he saved an entire village with his granary during a famine, because he had saved all of this grain. And so the statue of Shakespeare, the original statue from ancient times, has him holding a sack of grain, not a pen and paper. So be that Shakespeare, be that write that story, write that play, okay, in which you help people in the future, because you have your seeds and you plant your garden. Okay, you're going to need to start planting a garden right away. And look at Cuba. Look at how Cuba did it, because they shifted over really fast out of necessity into gardens on rooftops, in driveways, on balconies, in street corners, behind warehouses, using every little portion of land they had for food, growing their own food. Okay, so that's my prophecy for you, darling. The prophecy is your brain is going to start to be activated in a new way. The fluids in your brain they're going to be flowing into new chambers, and that is going to, because your brain really is jelly. It really is a lot of fluids pumping right now. That's the way the brain actually is. So when this happens, you're going to come into a lot of joy that you might not be feeling just yet, but get ready, because it always looks the opposite when things are about to pivot. We're at the worst right now. We're in like war and mayhem and depression and isolation and fear, right? It's about to and then like you're not going to be able to see your enemy, your neighbor as your enemy anymore. It's not, the oneness thing is just starting. It's already starting, darling. The world conversation has already begun, and the divine feminine has already come. She's back, okay? Bats. COVID virus comes from bats, right? Bats are the animal of the goddess in her womb, down in her caves. The bats are intuitive. They move without eyes. the divine feminine has bitten all of us. She's saying, you're going to stop now. You're going to have an illness and you either change your ways or you die. So if you allow the divine feminine to start making you over and start showing you what you've been missing and what you're longing for and what's important and what matters, you're going to beat this illness, because that's the point of the illness. All you need to do is get with, with any illness, is you find the source, the cause, the spiritual cause, and then all the physical things change. So like a woman who's got breast cancer, a lot of times it's because there's too much attention on her body, as her boobs, or because she always wanted a child and she could never have one. For each illness, it's a little bit specific for people for why, but each illness tends to have a certain kind of a vibration, like fibromyalgia, which is mainly about needing to embody the divine feminine and being forced into a masculine role so that you hurt all over. So anyway, the spiritual reality of COVID-19 is all about returning to the divine feminine as a world community. So all you do is follow that, what it means for you as a man. Okay, there's the confirmation. Thunder. We know that the goddess, the wind of the goddess brings that rain that's just the right rain that waters your crop and then blows off without flooding it. So let's get aligned with the goddess, okay? She doesn't want us to kill off every animal and every species. She's just going to make it so we can't do anything until balance is achieved and we have committed to it. So let's do it. It's exciting. We're getting the help we needed. Okay? We're getting the help we needed. That's what this is about. I love you, darling. Love yourself beyond anything else. While you're home, just be nice to yourself, okay? You don't have to achieve anything. You don't have to, I know I'm talking about changing the whole world, but you don't have to do much else besides shifting inside yourself towards self-love and towards pleasure. Because the divine feminine is marked by pleasure, and it's not a sin. Even sexuality, it's not a sin. It's her energy is about loving the taste of water and the taste of food and the feeling of touch and the relaxation of just being okay where you are, as you are, without having to prove anything, achieve anything, force anything, create anything, excel. None of that is her. That's the masculine, out of balance and totally divorced from the feminine. Okay? All right? So much love to you, darling. Let's unite our feminine and masculine selves within us. And it's okay to have goals too. Of course, it's okay to have our masculine activated with a target of, hey, how about the target of reforming all of our politics? That's a great way to use masculine energy towards embracing the feminine, right? So here it is. The dance has come. The unification has come. Love you. Love life, darling. Love life. Okay.